Hello everyone, welcome back to History Lessons. Today's video will be about the Union Judiciary, which is the Supreme Court. This is a part of Class 10 Civics syllabus. So your syllabus consists of composition of Supreme Court, qualification of the judges, their appointment, independence of judiciary from the control of executive and legislature, jurisdiction and functions of the Supreme Court, which is the original, appellate, advisory, revisory and judicial review power of Supreme Court, as well as a Supreme Court as a court of record, and how it acts for the enforcement of fundamental rights and writs. So first, appointment of the judges. So at the commencement of the constitution, the number of judges was 8, including the Chief Justice of India, but the number of judges since has been increasing today. So now, in accordance with an act of 2008, in the Supreme Court consists of Chief Justice of India along with not more than 30 other judges. So total 30 plus Chief Justice of India. Every judge of the Supreme Court is appointed by the President. The appointments are made after consultation with such judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts as the President may deem necessary. But while appointing a judge other than the Chief Justice of India shall always be consulted. The Chief Justice must consult the 4 senior-most judges of the Supreme Court before making any recommendation to the President of India, and in this regard, the criteria for appointment of Chief Justice shall be seniority. So, the senior-most judge of the Supreme Court will be appointed as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and regarding the other judges, the President will appoint but consulting Chief Justice of India. So what are the qualifications? Let us check that. A judge of the Supreme Court must be a citizen of India and an advocate of High Court for at least 10 years. So 10 years he should practice as an High Court advocate and must be in opinion of the President a distinguished jurist. So because the President makes the final appointment, so the President has the power to choose. So he has to be a distinguished jurist in the eyes of President. Now let's come to the independence and impartiality of Supreme Court. How the judicial body of our country works as an impartial body. So from appointment of judges to prohibition of practice after retirement, everything is for impartiality, maintenance of impartiality of the judicial body. So appointment of the judges, the President shall consult the Chief Justice of India, as we have discussed. The Chief Justice should take into account the views of 4 senior-most colleagues. So regarding appointment of a new judge, the Chief Justice will not do in his discretion but discuss with his senior-most colleagues. So this is a convention. Then security of tenure. A judge can remain in office till he has attained the age of 65 years. He can be removed by the President on the ground of proven misbehavior or incapacity. So like such a long tenure, once you become a judge, you're in office till 65 years of your age. But you can be removed from office through a process of impeachment, which is a very difficult process. So that should be on the grounds of proven misbehavior or incapacity. Salaries should not be deducted on any grounds unless there is a financial emergency declared. So no discussion with respect to the conduct of any judge. So whatever the judge behaves in a Supreme Court, there should be no discussion on his behavior. Punishment for the contempt of court. If there is a genuine criticism of judgment is allowed, but nothing should be done to lower the authority or dignity of the court. So the Supreme Court has a power to punish for contempt of itself. So if anybody disrespect the court, the Supreme Court judges can punish them. Prohibition of practice after retirement. A Supreme Court judge once retired cannot practice after retirement. So these are all the features there in our constitution to maintain the impartiality of the highest judicial authority of our country. Then we will move forward to the jurisdiction and powers functions of the Supreme Court. The original jurisdiction, original means what? Which extend to those cases which Supreme Court has the authority to hear and decide in its first instance. For the first time only, the cases will be dealt by the Supreme Court. What are those disputes? There are 3 disputes. Number 1, a dispute between Government of India and one or more state, like in a federation. We don't have a total federation, but any unitary federalism also. Government of India at the center and any other one or more states, the dispute should come before the Supreme Court at a first instance. In second case, dispute between 2 or more states. If there are disputes on any territorial basis or anything between two states, that case will come directly up to the Supreme Court and not go to any subordinate courts or high courts. A dispute, the third final case is about the dispute between union and any state on one side and other states on the other. So if there is a dispute between one group of states with other group of states along with the union, so that cases will also be dealt with the Supreme Court. This is the original jurisdiction with the cases which comes for the first instance to the Supreme Court. Then the appellate jurisdiction, this works for two types of cases, constitutional cases and civil cases. And in case of some criminal matters, there will be two processes through which Supreme Court gets the case, which is without a certificate of High Court, or the High Court certifies a case that it should be dealt by the Supreme Court, that goes to the Supreme Court. Then what is the advisory or consultative jurisdiction power of the Supreme Court? The President may obtain the opinion of Supreme Court on any question of law in fact which is of public importance. So the Supreme Court advises the President on important matters of public interest, and this is the Supreme Court judge's exclusive power to consult, to give consultation to the President of India in important matters. Then the power to review and revise its own judgment. If in later times Supreme Court finds out that one case in the earlier times has been misjudged, it can review its judgment. So now we'll move on to the latter part, which is Supreme Court also acts as a court of record, which means a court of record is one whose judgments are recorded for evidence and testimony. So a Supreme Court's judgment can be used as a testimony for future cases. That is a court of record. Then we will move forward to enforcement of fundamental rights. For that, Supreme Court uses 5 types of writs. Number 1, writ of habeas corpus, which means you have the body. It provides a remedy for a person who has been illegally taken into custody. Then the writ of mandamus, that is, we command. The purpose of the writ is to compel an inferior court or an individual to perform. If somebody is not performing their duty correctly, the Supreme Court can order for performance of the particular duty. Prohibition means prohibiting an inferior court for exercising powers. Certiorari, just the opposite, it's certifying an inferior or lower court for performing duty. And lastly, the writ of quo warranto. This writ is directed against a person who has wrongfully usurped an office. The office must be public office or an office of public nature. The treasurer of a society, for instance, is not a public office. So this writ is for who has taken a public office illegally. So these are the 5 writs which Supreme Court issues to protect fundamental rights. The guardian of fundamental rights is the Supreme Court. We can move to the Supreme Court for any violation of our fundamental rights, and the Supreme Court protects in this how. So lastly, the power of judicial review of Supreme Court. Judicial review may be defined as the power of Supreme Court to examine the laws passed by the legislature and the orders issued by the executive officials to find whether or not they are permitted by Constitution. So the Supreme Court, as I'm saying repeatedly, is the highest judicial authority. Supreme Court has a power to review all the laws the legislature, the lawmaking body of the government has passed, and all the powers which has been enforced by our executive body to see, to check whether this has been passed in accordance with the Constitution or not. If the Supreme Court found out that it is not in accordance with the Constitution, it may declare it to be illegal. So the Supreme Court does act as a guardian and final interpreter of the Constitution, who interprets the Constitution legally, rightfully, and find out whether laws has been passed legally or not. So this is all about Supreme Court, the jurisdiction, how the judges are being appointed, and there are total 30 judges along with Chief Justice of India, which constitutes the Supreme Court of India. So this is all for today. In the next video, we'll continue with High Court and subordinate courts, which is also a part of Class 10 Civics syllabus, ICSE board. Thank you. Please subscribe to our channel for more such videos, and don't forget to press the bell icon.